Next to Courtney and Duncan, another good relationship and total drama that went to complete crap is actually Bridget and Geoff's relationship. So let's discover that today. Hey guys, it's Alexandria X and welcome back to this channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Bridget and Geoff's cute and messy relationships. Not relationships, I'm sorry. If you see me like looking off to the side or anything like that, it's just me honestly looking at my notes to make sure I'm saying the right thing. If you hear a little background noise, sorry about that, but I don't really know how to edit the background noise off. Every time I do like noise reduction, it just makes the audio sound weird, so I need to invest in a microphone so it won't. Y'all didn't come here for all that. Y'all came here to hear about Geoff and Bridget's cute and messy relationship. So enough with all that jibber jabber and let's actually get into the actual video. In season 1, Geoff's character was a chill party dude, you know? He just wanted to be cool with everyone and his focus wasn't really on winning. It was just more so just making the most out of his time at Camp Wawanakwa. Bridget's character in season 1, she was that chill surfer girl and was on Total Drama Island to not just win the competition, but just making the most out of her experience just the same. When Bridget got off the boat in the very first episode of Total Drama, honestly, we already see that Geoff is immediately intrigued by Bridget. He immediately goes up to her and he's like, hey, what's up? My name is Geoff. And they're already having that conversation. But throughout the season, Geoff and Bridget don't really get to talk to each other until we get into like the middle of the season. So I want to say maybe about episode 9. But also prior in episode 6, which is the Sucky Outdoors, you actually see Bridget literally sleeping on top of Geoff. So I don't know like if they had developed their relationship off screen or what, but their relationship isn't really addressed until episode 9. After episode 9, we really do start to see them really hang out a little bit more, and we really see that awkward, you know, like banter and dialogue between the two. Most of it really is coming from Geoff because I don't know what he feels so much about, like he must really like Bridget for him to be acting this weird and this awkward, because Geoff is such like a very chill guy that things roll off really easy for him. So the fact that he honestly is choking up every time he gets around Bridget, he must really like Bridget. Bridget honestly does notice him making those efforts of talking to her, and in episode 11 she interacts with him and how they talk about DJ's pet rabbit named Bunny, and they even go to the beach and swim together. So we can see them throughout the season developing that liking in relationship toward one another before anything obviously is official. So y'all, I'm gonna read straight from my notes for this one because I think it's really important that I do. But in episode 13, which is actually Extreme Torture, there is a haiku poem that Chef throws to the ground. But when Gwen and Bridget assume it's for them, they go out of their way to see if it's Trent or Geoff who wrote the poems. We learn that Geoff did not write the haiku, but she knows that Geoff is still crushing on him and she the same. In episode 14, Burnt of Disgustingness, is when the teams merge. Not necessarily officially, but it is the battle of the sexes. And then after they have that awkward goodbye before Chris pulls Bridget away, but we can see that Geoff is saddened by this. We also see him give Bridget a pep talk during the challenge as well to encourage her. In episode 15, No Pain No Gain, is when Eva and Izzy return to the game. Throughout the episode, Eva has been gunning for Bridget, and when Lindsay denies suggestions of one for the challenge, Eva pulls Lindsay by the hair and tells her to go for Bridget. As Bridget is about to do this challenge, Geoff does the heroic thing and does the challenge for her. Episode 17, which is Hide and Be Sneaky, which is actually Bridget's elimination episode, but during this episode, there's a guys' alliance that has been made. Duncan made a declaration that Bridget be voted off, but with worry on his face, Geoff makes the quick suggestion that Heather be voted off, but Duncan reminds him that Heather has invincibility. But he also makes a point how sporty she is and more of a threat at that moment in the game. Geoff really doesn't like this, but he agrees to it. And during the elimination, it's revealed that Bridget is going home, but Geoff reveals that he actually didn't vote for her when she's out on the dock. Duncan is ticked, but they almost share their first kiss. But Geoff is taken aback because of her stench, because earlier in the episode, Bridget got sprayed by skunks. After Bridget's elimination, we honestly see that Geoff is feeling very guilty about the last elimination and how everything went. He feels as if he should have convinced the guys' alliance to actually vote off somebody else, and he felt like he actually felt Bridget, and actually we see later in the episode he's actually drawing a portrait for her for his bike, which is so sweet. Honestly, after Geoff gets voted off in the previous episode and we get to Play It Day Losers, they're just making out the whole time and they're hanging out. Like, they finally have their kiss. Like, we don't know when they officially had their first kiss, but we know that they've been kissing because look at the Play It Day Losers episode. I feel like with Total Drama Island, I'm just gonna call it the special because it's just easier to call it special. I heard Switchy call it the special, so I'm gonna call it the special because it's just so easier to call it that. But in the special, I feel like it definitely sets up for how Bridget and Geoff are going to be in season 2. You know, well, like in the first half of season 2 when they are contestants in Total Drama Action. During their time, Bridget and Geoff lived a very short time on Action, and they actually get voted off in the second episode, not the first episode, but the second episode, first elimination. And the reason why they get voted off is because they're kissing each other, they can't stop sucking face, and they're getting on everybody's nerves, which very and highly understandable. So during this time of them having the aftermaths, Geoff becomes really mean and fame hungry. This kind of puts a hard to remove oil stain in their relationship because Bridget misses the Geoff that was once nice and sweet. And this new version of Geoff was disliked by many. They also had gotten into a feud about Trent and Gwen as well. And personally, they should have left that alone and maybe did like a call-in where fans could state their opinions on it. And we also maybe could have heard from the peanut gallery, because I feel like Geoff and Bridget getting into Trent and Gwen's business actually kind of tarnished their relationship, because they should have been focusing on their own, because they were already having struggles within their own relationship with Geoff changing as a person. So the fact that they were getting into somebody else's relationship and not necessarily focusing on their own, huge detriment to them. When it came to World Tour, Bridget was the only one to compete, and she had this pretty obvious crush on Alejandro, and she knew she was wrong for all this. Like, she knew it, and she knew she was wrong, and at least she knew she was wrong, but sometimes she would blatantly accept the flirting and charm from Alejandro, knowing that Geoff was gonna see this relationship, this thing that she was having with Alejandro some way, somehow. And honestly, Bridget was so trifling for that. Like, she was dead wrong, and she was dead wrong for also trying to kiss Alejandro for the second time, and that's why her tongue got stuck to the pole, because the first time it was an accident, but that second time, girl, you trifling. She was essentially voted off her team. And during the aftermath, the first aftermath, Geoff actually doesn't want to see her at all, but she actually sings her apology song, I'm Sorry, which I think is like one of the top 5 World Tour songs. I actually am going to be making a ranking video or a tier list video about all the Total Drama songs, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Geoff begins to accept it, but then blatantly like plays all this footage of Bridget's time on World Tour with just Bridget and Alejandro, and this kind of like riles them up again, and they get put into the boxing ring or whatever. It's like this bit that they do, but then eventually, you know, they just make out and make up. I do think Bridget and Geoff were definitely good for each other, and this is a representation of like a teen relationship. Like, this is what you're most likely to see in most high schools and stuff like that. I feel like I saw a lot of stuff, well, maybe not the fame hungry part, but I did see stuff like this when I was in high school, so I mean, come on. What I will say is, why do they have to involve cheating into Bridget's character? This was kind of out of character for her, and this kind of partially tarnished her relationship. I mean, this kind of tarnished her can I speak? Her reputation. This tarnished her reputation, because I was actually okay with Geoff turning into a mini Chris because of the stresses that is put on teens in the industry. Geoff was clearly doing what he was told, and Geoff was actually under a lot of pressure, and it was kind of heartbreaking, but that's what it was. And then Geoff came to his senses that he didn't need to be who the producers wanted him to be. So I didn't mind this for their relationship because of they were essentially reality TV stars, so they were literally under a lot of pressure. So I could see Geoff being that way. But Bridget, once again, that girl, she trifling. Writers are trifling for that, and they never should have did that to her character, and I don't appreciate that for her character. That is my video about Geoff and Bridget's relationship. I'm sorry if it feels a little wonky, but you know, I was just trying my best to definitely just film this video for you guys, because this is actually a video I've been planning to make since like June, and it's November. So it's taken me so long to just do this video, but it's out for you guys. But thank y'all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, especially subscribe, and I hope that y'all have a good day. Bye.